And today, it's the kart Texaco Havoline 200 from Road America at Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin, as we go to the main straightaway, and Gary anticipating a green flag. There's the front row. Danny Sullivan and Rick Mears leads the field down. The green flag is out, and they're racing. Sullivan jumps into the lead. Fittipaldi comes to the inside of Rick Mears as a fight for second place. And Mario Andretti fights with Unser Jr. through the first turn and down the hill.
The three Penske cars, there are 1, 2, 3 at the moment. We see Emerson make a nice move to take second place from Rick Mears.
And a sweeping maneuver by Michael Andretti as he comes across the track and tries to tuck in behind his father. Now traveling downhill, the second longest straightaway here. Danny Sullivan, followed by his teammate Fittipaldi. Rick Mears drops into third.
Just look at the gaggle of cars behind. People jostling for position. There's Rahal about to lose the place to Mario.
Michael Andretti gets badly bottled up. Looks like Michael in the number 3 car as you're looking back from Mario's car. Here comes Eddie Cheever up around Rahal.
Oh, and
look at the wheels. Boy, they get the wheels together.
What a lot of action here so early in this race, but we saw Cheever slide down the inside of Rahal.
Down through Hurry Downs. You rode for a moment there with Michael Andretti. Cheever comes up to challenge. Now Lyondike comes up to challenge Rahal as well, and then the 2 Porsches as they head for the carousel. Chances to do any good here today as the fight right up behind Rick Mears right now as they head out of the gravel pit and down toward Canada Corner. Michael makes a move again, trying to get underneath. Unser Jr. can't do it, but look how close that fight is taking them to Rick Mears.
Michael is very determined. He needs this position. Al Jr. will know exactly where he is all the time. Again, we saw him protect that position. Al Jr. was in the middle of the road. Not enough room for Michael to slide down the inside. Look, he slides on the outside here, gets off the track onto the rumble strips.
They climb the hill on the pit straight once again. Michael takes a look to the inside, lines up. They'll touch 190 miles an hour through here.
Al Jr. seems to have good speed down these straights. Under braking, at times we see Michael close up right here. Under braking, gets right down underneath the wing of Unser Jr.'s car.
Michael comes into turn 2 just a little bit hotter. Now they start downhill, and because of the woods on either side here, their aerodynamics are a little more efficient. And look at Michael once again as he goes for every position he can. Unser Jr. tries to protect the line. Michael's alongside as they come down into Station 5, and Michael gets ahead of Little Al. The fight for the championship continues.
Very, very brave move by Michael Andretti. Now remember, Al Jr., he's entitled to take the line he likes. He moved down to the inside, to the middle of the road, made Michael work hard. Go around the outside if you want my position. Michael said, I will, and he did. A very, very brave move.
So Michael moves up to challenge Rick Mears, who has been one of the fastest on that long straightaway. Rick and Michael both make the turn in. Now they have another long straightaway run. This, of course, was where Michael Andretti made his move on Unser Jr. He's going to try the same thing on Rick Mears. They come down the hill, through the woods. Michael Andretti challenging Rick Mears.
And Rick takes the inside, makes Michael go to the outside, but Michael doubles back down the inside.
Rear sweeps across the front, takes Michael climbing the hill. So the gamble that worked with Unser Jr. didn't work with Rick Mears. The fight continues for third place. Let's have Emerson Fittipaldi and Rick Mears and Michael Andretti have started to close down on the lead of this race. A race that throughout the afternoon should prove most fascinating because, as Derek Daly pointed out, look at there, Michael Andretti just got around Rick Mears. As Derek Daly pointed out, you have to be very careful about your pit stop. If you get it wrong, you're probably going to end up rolling to a stop on the side of this course. This is when Michael came up to challenge Rick Mears at Canada Corner. And Michael, just under braking, was able to drop it inside Rick, move past, and pick up third place. So it is now Danny Sullivan, his teammate Emerson Fittipaldi. There is Michael Andretti, Rick Mears, and Unser Jr. The fight continues.
And his mark and his car back up at number 1.
This looks back. John Andretti, you take a look at the Porsche as he touches wheels and gets off the course as he touched with Scott Goodyear in number 11. And when you get off into the gravel, of course, it's not like we saw it when we were at Mid-Ohio where the gravel was also wet. But you can see the course marshals are there. That was a battle, by the way, for Scott Goodyear's perennial battle for 10th place. He seems to get that position and stay there. He's doing a magnificent job this year at the front.
The driver doesn't have time to think about it. It's just instinctive. He just yanks it back to where the gear shift should be.
So you've taken a lap around Road America as Dominic Dobson comes off the course. That's down at Station 5. Very easy to get off there, overcook the brakes. Remember, Dominic had trouble on the start of this race. It took them some time to get the engine started. He'd moved up and was running at the back end of the top 10, actually in 11th place, right behind Eddie Cheever. And then suddenly off the course, the engine not fired at the moment, and the course marshals try to get him pointed, so they'll try to give him a push start. On a day like this, it might be a little bit easier to get that engine started if it cornered.
That carousel was a graphic description of just how much better Michael's car handles over Cheever. Look at Danny Sullivan, though, trying to get through this traffic. Sullivan catches him.
Car well off the course and over the mound. We don't have an identity yet. Fire back, and looks like an engine turbocharger fire, though, as we can see just the tip of the helmet, and that's A.J. Foyt. And A.J., there are the course marshals there in the car but moving. We'll keep track of this, and you can get an idea how isolated that might be. And here comes Michael Andretti through the chicane, lap 26 into the pits. Lynn St. James is there.
Michael makes his second pit stop, second of a scheduled 3. It's a little bit earlier than most of the other teams, but they said it's within the window that most teams are going to have to make 3 stops anyway, so they're going to get it in early. They're making sure they get all that valuable fuel in, and Michael's out of the pits. A wonderful pit stop.
Oh, what a pit stop. 12.3 seconds. A brilliant stop for the Newman-Haas organization, and Michael rolls back underway. So Michael Andretti comes in. There's no question about it now. After last year's experience of losing in the last mile, they're making it a 3-stop race as the crew's working at A.J. Foyt's car. The kart safety team is there, and we'll keep track of this situation as well. He just came right off the end of the very first corner. So A.J. Foyt off the course. They have yellows only standing in that area of the circuit. The safety crew is there, and Michael Andretti leads here.
They do catch the cars unless you go straight into them. Then you can actually get right through the gravel trap, which is what we saw happen to Foyt. If the car gets anyway sideways, it immediately sucks in the wheels. But Foyt obviously hit that straight on and went out over the other end of it.
The good news was that we saw A.J. moving in the cockpit. In fact, saw his hand raised in the air at one point right after the impact. So we'll continue to monitor that situation. Our information will come directly from the kart safety team, and as soon as they're done with the situation, they'll relay to us and we'll relay to you. On board.
That was the completion of lap 33. We're now coming up to start lap 35.
And you've also added 2.2 gallons of fuel to try and help these teams.
That's correct. We are coming up to complete lap 35.
All right, the green flag comes out. With 35 laps complete, Danny Sullivan leads the field on the run down. Eddie Cheever is just behind him. We thank Kirk Russell for taking time out of his busy schedule to join us here in the booth and give us that official update as Danny Sullivan now begins to work away from the rest of the field. Second in the order is that man, Michael Andretti, car number 3, who works around Eddie Cheever.
Now, you did give us the rundown of the top 10, but remember, there is lapped traffic interspersed between all these top 10 runners. We saw Michael Andretti just have to put a move on Eddie Cheever here, but the rest of the top 10 do have to make their way past lapped traffic.
Michael Andretti, a lap being completed now under the green, and as Michael moved around Eddie Cheever, of course, he is not running on the leader's pace. He's a lap behind. The contest is at the front of the field as you ride on board with Michael Andretti.
Racetrack and in the points. We see him right here. We see an engine blow up right behind. We see some serious smoke. I don't know whether there's oil going down, but somebody in big trouble.
That's Dominic Dobson with the smoke at the back of the engine, and everyone else comes by safely. You have to worry because there could be oil coming in that smoke and laying down on the course. So Dominic Dobson should wisely get a fire there under the engine cowling. Shouldn't be anything serious, but you don't want to have any oil get down on that racing line. Andretti, now here comes Fittipaldi, Cheever, Bosell, neither one in the fight. The fight now comes to us. Ray Hall, Al Unser Jr. and Rick Mears is closing in just behind. So the fight continues for third place. And Mears joins that fight as well. We've got a battle on our hands here at Road America. At the front of the field, it's still Danny Sullivan. On the second stretch. It's still Sullivan. The fight continues. Michael Andretti sits in second place. Emerson Fittipaldi. His teammate Fittipaldi comes past him, as does Michael Andretti, and Danny Sullivan pulls by the wayside. A rattling sound in that Chevrolet engine. Chuck Sprague disgustedly turns his back on the pits. The Sullivan day is done. And just that quickly, he had this race totally under control.
This is hard to believe. The man who had the fastest car in the race here, both races, this 16-lap sprint also, he had time to work on the car during the long red flag situation, and Sullivan's car breaks. It lets him down.
Michael Andretti then flashed past, picking up the lead of the race. That brings Fittipaldi up to second. Brings Rahal and Unser up to third and fourth. Rick Mears is now in fifth. So Michael Andretti has a solid first place over Emerson Fittipaldi.
He has a solid first place now, but he was not catching Sullivan. He was struggling to keep Sullivan in sight.
And Al Unser Jr. gets around his teammate Bobby Rahal, and Al Unser Jr. comes forward into third place. Now Mears is at the back of Bobby Rahal's car, and Mears is going to try Rahal. Mears gets past Rahal on the inside. So the positions change in this sprint, running to the finish now with 11 laps to go. Al Unser Jr. came forward. Hiro Matsushita, number 10, the Panasonic car, apparently with an engine let go. He comes off the edge of the race course to climb out. Kenner Esman come past. The white flag comes out for Michael Andretti. It waves for Fittipaldi as well. Rick Mears will come across in third place starting the last lap, with Al Unser Jr. closely behind.
Without a mistake and a mechanical problem or a fuel problem, Michael looks as if he has the handle of Emerson Fittipaldi, but Emerson remembers what happened last year and hopes that Michael has not quite made the calculation, which is the mistake they made last year.
For Michael Andretti, his last time down towards Station 5 and through the woods. There comes that battle with Al Unser Jr. challenging Rick Mears. And little Al is right there coming to his favorite braking area. Is he close enough to maneuver? No, he's not. Fittipaldi comes up, continuing his chase of Michael Andretti. On the last lap at Road America. A most unusual race, but it almost always is here at Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin.
Michael is definitely putting the challenge to Al Jr. by winning the last two races. He said in an interview recently, all I got to do is win the last 5, and people joked. Now he's won the 2.
This is the crew. They're watching this picture right here, the onboard camera feed. Heading for the kink, out of the gravel pit. Down as fast as he can go, waiting till the last second to touch the brakes as he heads into Canada corner. A right angle right-hander. Fittipaldi not within striking distance at this moment. But there he is. He inches closer. Back up. He climbs an elevation once again. Out under the bridge for Michael Andretti. The Kmart Havoline Lola, Newman Haas, perhaps back-to-back wins. It's a final corner just ahead. Fittipaldi maintains position as Michael Andretti begins to climb the hill now. And it'll be the checkered flag line just ahead for Michael Andretti. As Michael Andretti picks up the win here in the Texaco Havoline 200. Michael Andretti keeps his hopes alive in the points fight. Fittipaldi comes across the line in second place. Here comes Al Unser Jr. up the hill. As Al Unser Jr. trying to grab a position away from Rick Mears and finish in third place. But Michael Andretti is the winner. The points fight is still alive.
What a great day for Michael to come through the adversity, to take advantage of other people's problems. We saw last